Thank you very much, everybody. Mrs. Whitfield is on the phone, and welcome, Mrs. Whitfield. And any comments you want to make before we go further?
Hello, Mr. Shaw. Thank you so much for having me on the phone. I just wanted to also add my congratulations to the school district. I'm so very proud of everyone, and I wanted to also make the same disclosure as everyone else earlier this evening that I did speak with Mr. Arza. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to participating by phone.
Thank you very much. Our next item on the agenda is our student government report, and since the school year hasn't started, we don't have one. So next month we will have our student government representative. A committee report, construction oversight committee, and that one is in writing, so everybody should have a copy of that. Our next item are speakers, elected officials, and delegates. We have 4. So I'll call all 4 of you. James Gavalos, Alfonso Mayfield, Pat Emmert, Justin Katz.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Superintendent Dr. Fenoy, ladies and gentlemen of the board and honored guests. James Gavrilis, Education Foundation of Palm Beach County. While we often think that the summertime in the world of education is a time for resting and relaxing, not so with the foundation. These are some of our busiest months. I do want to let the board know what is happening even as we speak, during these days and weeks. On the grant side, we are finishing up our grant proposals, which will be submitted to the state consortium of Florida Education Foundations. Through the state funding, we are receiving $224,000, which we then match with local dollars, and we are thankful to all of our corporate sponsors here in Palm Beach County who are matching those dollars, which enables us to give out $450,000 in grants to our local schools in our big grant bucket. There are about 5 or 6 programs throughout the district that we will be funding this year with that $450,000. In addition, I can happily report that we received 68 Go Teach applications, even more than we had last year. Our board and our judging committee are looking at those grants right now, and we have budgeted almost $70,000 to be given away to Go Teach grants. These go to individual teachers in specific schools who have some creative or innovative program that we think is worthy of support. So the foundation is hard at work assessing those. Obviously, as we get ready for the school year, Red Apple Supply Store is gearing up. Last year we served 32 schools. We were planning to expand to 40 with a very generous grant from the Honda Classic Cares Group. We've added 2 more, so we will be serving 42 schools this year who will receive all the supplies those teachers need for their kids through our Red Apple Supply Store. Ladies and gentlemen, especially those of you who do listen to these meetings at home, any Bank of America branch in Palm Beach County has a Red Apple Supply box, as do many Walmarts and Town Center Mall. Please bring school supplies so that Red Apple Supply Store and the Education Foundation can get them into the hands of the kids who need them most. As I said, 42 schools this year will be shopping at Red Apple Supplies. We are projecting distributing some $400,000 worth of school supplies in the next 12 months. And that's a credit to the amazing people of Palm Beach County and the incredible staff and board of the Education Foundation. All credit to them. On August 1st, we will be assisting Florida Power and Light as some 200 interns will be invading Cross Point to paint, spruce, weed, do whatever needs to be done to bring that school online and ready to go for the school year. So thanks to Florida Power and Light for August 1st. On August 14th and on August 16th, our partners at Office Depot are launching a new initiative called Start Proud. And I'm not going to say anything more about that. I'll let the press take care of that one. But Office Depot wants to make a significant impact throughout the country, and we're honored that they're headquartered here in Palm Beach County, and they want to make their biggest splash right here. So on August 14th, they'll be at Belglade Elementary School, and on August 16th at Washington Elementary School. So lots happening with the Education Foundation through the summer as we prepare to carry forth our mission, which is to bring the business community to the world of education. Ladies and gentlemen of the school board, I want to thank you all for your support as I'm just about closing my first year as the president and CEO of the Ed Foundation. Not quite a year yet, but we're almost there. Please always remember, Dr. Fenoy, by the way, we're in competition with you. I spoke at FAU's Career Education Seminar today, and I'm encouraging them to come to the good side of the force. Come to the nonprofit world. But they love the partnership they have with you and the school district, and we're honored to be a partner with you. Ladies and gentlemen, always remember, we are your education foundation, serving the needs of the schools, teachers and students, and the finest school district in the state of Florida. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I do want to make note that Jim did that whole thing with all those dates and times and didn't have any notes. So congratulations on that. That was noteworthy.
I can't remember how many kids I have, but I can remember these dates of when the programs are.
Mr. Mayfield.
That's impressive. I'm not going to be able to remember all those numbers. First off, good evening to the superintendent and the school board. I want to first off thank the superintendent and Ms. Paul for meeting with me earlier today. I'm coming to speak about the transportation department, and I'm coming to speak about the potential of Shane Searchwell becoming the director of transportation. I want to start from this place, though. Since I became president of Florida Public Services Union, I've always tried to work in a way that was collaborative and problem solving as it relates to the school district. Our members have some of the hardest jobs, and they often go unrecognized, not necessarily by the school board members or by the administration, but by the public. And so we understand that we all stand together and have to be problem solvers of what's in the best interest of our communities, and we believe that. But one of the failings of 2015, 2016, and the debacle around transportation, and I want to remind people specifically what happened. Our members do not do routing. Our members do not do scheduling. Our members pick up the kids. Our members make sure the kids are safe. And in the lead up to that school year, myself and our members on several occasions tried to meet with the administration and point out the problems and offer solutions. We were told very specifically, we do not need your input. We know what we're doing. One of my failures of leadership at the time, and some of you all pointed this out to me, and I never forgot that. You said, Alfonso, we appreciate you trying to be a problem solver. We appreciate you trying to fix the issues and trying to collaborate, but next time be louder. This is me being loud. Shane Searchwell is unfit to be director of the transportation department. And I want to be clear why, because this is not personal. Most of you know me. I don't deal in personal aspects. I deal in leadership. And I want to draw a distinction. Sometimes it relates to leading. We sometimes confuse a bad boss or a tough boss with a bad leader. It's one thing to be tough. It's one thing to hold people accountable. It's one thing to be clear. But to be tough, you have to have clarity of vision. People have to trust you, and you have to speak, and people know that what you're saying is true. In every situation I mentioned earlier, Shane Searchwell was at the center of each of those issues. Now, he was not the leader, and I want to be fair to him. He was not leading each of those issues. But I'll tell you in my personal experience, I will not sit in a room alone and have a one-on-one conversation with Shane Searchwell, because in every instance that I have, a different outcome leaves the room of one that we've agreed upon. So I appreciate the school board for listening and taking this under consideration. And what I would say is this: people can redeem themselves. But it makes sense in this moment and what our vision is for transportation to take feedback and to say, okay, for people who have institutional knowledge of this job, if someone's going to redeem themselves, if someone's going to step up to the plate of being a leader, for them to get the feedback and the data points that you need to be able to say, here's what you need to do to be better. We are an A-rated school district. I have one of your future consumers in the audience somewhere. We want to be the best in everything that we do. Every piece of information that allows us to cull the fat and to be strong and clear, we should take. So I do want to say, because I want to make sure this is clear, the superintendent and I don't always agree, but we listen to each other. We yell at each other sometimes too, but that's the case. And I want to thank you all for listening to me when we called. Let's go forward from here and build something great And whatever we can do to help, please reach out to us.
Thank you. Ms. Emmert.
And you guys think I'm tough. I'm Pat Emmert, president of Palm Beach Treasure Coast AFL-CIO, and I came here to tell you that our officers and our delegates last night voted to endorse this tax referendum for the schools. We're very pleased, and as soon as you vote for it and get it on the ballot, we'll start working within our four corners to get it pushed forward. And I want you to know the reason you haven't seen me here before, and I've been around 15 years in this position, we usually do not take positions on taxing our members. This time we think it's crucial. Our teachers need a raise. Period, point blank, that's it. And I appreciate, I had no clue. But that's the major reason. I also happen to see a list of things that might be possible if this referendum passed. And the one that popped out to me was that the school district may be able to employ some mental health professionals to offer assistance to the children that needs that kind of service. And with the way things have been in the just short history, I think that's very important. So, and Ms. McQuinn, you took some of my words away. I was going to say, and I'm still going to say, I agree with you totally about being kind. I did not come here to battle with the business community. I think we all have a place at the table. They've been around. They've always supported the kids and the schools. It's just that we disagree on what the ultimate goals should be. And I would cede the rest of my time to Justin Katz, but he tells me I'm not allowed to do that. So thank you very much. As soon as you get your job done, we'll start doing our job. Thank you. Thank
you very much. Mr. Katz.
Thank you very much. My name is Justin Katz. I'm the president of the Palm Beach County Classroom Teachers Association, and I've taught high school in this district for the past 10 plus years. So I not only speak from my position of leadership of the teachers union, but I speak obviously from experience. I come here tonight to ask you to support not only the ballot language, but the adjustment in the proposed tax moving forward. First and foremost, I want to point out that fortunately, unlike in other forms of local government, you're not voting tonight to raise taxes. You're voting tonight to allow people to decide how they want to be taxed. So you're extending the democratic process directly to the voters, and for individuals who feel that this is not necessary or they can't support it, they will be afforded the opportunity to say so on the ballot in November, and for those who want to support it, so will they. So I just want to remind you that you're presenting a question to the public to allow them to decide what to do with regards to their pocketbooks and their own money. Speaking to the tax and the stated purposes, there could not be more important issues in the school district than those that are being funded by this tax. First and foremost is the perpetuation of the 600 plus jobs that already exist. You know, I've had conversations behind closed doors with staff. If the tax is not renewed, I would not go as far to say that I would expect 600 positions to be cut, but it is inevitable that hundreds of positions would be cut. There would be no way for the district to slash the existing operating budget by tens of millions of dollars in order to balance the budget and keep those positions. So first and foremost, the public has demanded for what seems like 10 or 20 years now to provide more choice and more academy opportunities for students, and that's exactly what that existing quarter mill has done. That's why it's been voted for and renewed over the past 8 years, and that's why this tax needs to be renewed again in November. In addition to those 600 plus positions, obviously paramount as a result of a disturbing trend in this country is a need for increased school security. As you know, that the legislature has allocated additional funds, but it simply is not enough. It does not cover all associated costs with putting one school resource officer in each school or multiple resource officers in the higher population schools. The ability to strengthen security in our schools for our students and our employees, it simply can't be understated, and I can't find it plausible that anyone would deny that it's necessary in the wake of the things that we see around this country on what seems like a weekly basis, sadly. Going to the next item that's going to be funded by this tax, and what was referenced by President of AFL-CIO, Pat Emmert, the mental health professionals. There's this weird trend in the legislature that teachers can and will do everything in the world to help the students. And while they might want to, it's not realistic. They already want to arm personnel in schools. They think that teachers could be police officers. Let me state emphatically, teachers are not police officers. They never will be. And that's why we have school resource officers in the first place. With regards to mental health, I'll state the exact same thing. When you go to college to get a degree in education, and many teachers today do not go to college to get a degree in education, they find their way into the profession by way of some other career path, you are not trained to diagnose and resolve mental health issues that lead to mass shootings and homicides. It's just, I can't think of a more complex mental issue than someone thinking it's acceptable to murder scores of people. You can't ask amateurs with limited to no training to be responsible for that. So the need for mental health professionals, obviously, as well, extremely important. And lastly, the teacher pay component. And I'll wrap it up with one comparison. For the past 2 days, I spent my time in budget hearings for the city of Boynton Beach, where I serve as a city commissioner. Through just passing conversation, it became known to me that our one street sweeper position in the city is vacant. A street sweeper, someone who operates a truck. And I asked, just out of curiosity, what does that pay? Because I wanted to know. It turns out that a 15-year teacher right now in the Palm Beach County School District makes approximately $49,000 to $50,000. A 15-year street sweeper in the city of Boynton Beach makes $46,000 to $47,000. I will not belittle or diminish the work of anyone in public works, but I do believe that when you go to college, you obtain a degree, you are involved in the high stress and high workload situations that teachers are, that a $2,000 to $3,000 disparity between 15-year veterans who are operating a truck with a CDL license and what teachers do, it's just, if it's plausible for a teacher to say, I want to quit being a teacher and become a street sweeper because that might be financially more justifiable to them, it's a sad state of affairs for education and the profession, and it lends to the simple fact that nobody wants to do this job anymore. There are better jobs out there, better economically viable jobs out there. So all of the components of this tax, I believe, are just paramount, and I would urge you to support the language and the level of taxation presented before you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That concludes our speakers on delegations and elected officials. We now move to
May I make a motion?